To understand information, to be truly information literate, means understanding the relationship between text and context. Now, when I say text, I don't just mean the written word. It's that, but it's also the podcasts you listen to, the videos you watch, even the games you play. Basically, any piece of media is the text. And the context is everything around the text. For instance, who said it and what do we know about them? Are they paid to say it? Do they have the expertise? While I'm sure there are some PhDs who will disagree, having a doctorate in one thing does not make you an expert in everything. So look to see if they're staying in their lane or not. Also, when was it said? Who benefits from what is being said and how it's being said? What's missing? Things don't happen in a vacuum, so having the backstory helps with understanding. Lastly, do they show their work? Do you know where they're getting their information? Let's try this out. On our campus, there are a lot of squirrels. So it got me wondering, are squirrels dangerous? So I do my research and I come across this site that tells me that squirrels are an abomination. Wanting to know a little bit more, I click on the About Us link, only to find that the site is being run by my 4 dogs. Now, since you probably don't know my dogs, let me assure you, they are not credible sources when it comes to squirrels. So then I actually did do a search for Are Squirrels Dangerous? And one of the top hits told all about how squirrels can cause leaks and power outages and fires and all sorts of awful things. However, to take a step back and put this into context, it's important to note that this comes from a pest control company. Now, obviously, they have a financial motivation to raise your fear of squirrels. It's not that what they've said is necessarily false. I don't know, I'm not a squirrelologist. It's just that they may have raised the fear level above what it should be. Let's get just a little bit more complex and take a look at Turnitin, the plagiarism software. Let's say you're doing research on Turnitin and come across this old article from Wired magazine talking about a court decision that ruled that Turnitin does not violate intellectual property rights, and they were heralding it as a boost of fair use advocates. Now, nowhere in this article does it mention that Wired's parent company is owned by the same people who own Turnitin. So, with this article now in context, you have to start wondering, is this journalism or is it public relations? Okay, last one. This one comes from the Brookings Institute, one of the more well-known think tanks. They put out this paper by an academic from the University of Utah saying that if there's going to be any student loan debt forgiveness, it should be highly targeted, aka very limited. Now, as far as I know, Adam Looney truly believes in everything he has written here. But the question is, why did the Brookings Institute decide to promote this particular academic and this particular work? It helps to look at who is funding them. Here you'll find a list of some of the wealthiest people and corporations in the world, including a lot of banking and investment companies. The people who make lots of money off student loan debt. And that's basically how it works. The rich give money to think tanks, then the think tanks put out policy papers that say we should give more money to rich people. And if, by chance, you put out a statement that goes against the interests of your donors, well, you just might find yourself out of a job. Hope this helps, and if you want to get better at putting text into context, I recommend learning more about lateral reading.